Hello and welcome to NewsClick's Daily Roundup. I am Probir Purkashta and we are going to look at the headlines of the day. Unprecedented, disturbing, says former Chief Election Commissioner on the rift within the Election Commission. A quick overview of the 8 states that are going to polls in the latest phase of the 2019 general elections. A look at our field report from Punjab and how this state has been reeling under the problem of severe drug abuse. In our international section today, we'll discuss US Secretary of State's recent visit to Russia. Former Chief Election Commissioner Navin Chawla told NewsClick in an exclusive interview that we have never seen such a crisis in the Election Commission before. This is unprecedented that an election commissioner has recused himself from the meetings of the Election Commission because his views are not recorded. A look at his interview which he did with Paranjoy Goa-Thakurta of NewsClick today.
I find this disturbing because from the time that I joined the commission, which was when Mr. Tandon was Chief Election Commissioner, we had a norm of meeting every day. And it wasn't just the 3 commissioners who met every day. It was all the officers, the deputy election commissioners, as well as our 2 legal officers. So there were always at least 8 or 10 other senior officials who were always there in the room, and we met Monday to Friday every day, barring the odd day when somebody was traveling. Okay. So I can clearly see from this that everybody is not meeting every day, and they're not meeting with the officers.
This is not throughout the year, but during the period the elections are
No,
going on.
I would say that this was a very good practice throughout the year.
Throughout the year.
All the time, irrespective of whether elections were on or not, because we were constantly going into one election or the other, but even otherwise. So I am disturbed by the fact that very good practice, and it is there cast in stone in my book.
Okay.
Because it's very important to say that all the officials of the Election Commission, the senior most officials, were always there and participated in the decisions, and any other, if there was a dissenting, let us say, a position that I take, it was there before all to see.
Chalaji, it's like this. What according to media reports, Mr. Sunil Arora called Mr. Lavasa, they had a meeting, and according to the Chief Election Commissioner, only the minority views are recorded only when there are quasi-judicial proceedings, and these need to be recorded, and decisions pertaining to alleged violations of the Model Code of Conduct, since they are not considered to be quasi-judicial proceedings, they need not be recorded.
Let me just say that the Election Commission, the commissioners and the officials must all meet every day, in my view. That was a healthy tradition started by Tandon, continued by Kopalaswamy, continued by me in my time, and I think continued by Mr. Sampath thereafter, and possibly Mr. Qureshi thereafter.
Now, what legal recourse does somebody like Mr. Lavasa have?
I do not know. This seems to be an unprecedented situation for me. I don't know.
Tomorrow is the last phase of this time's general elections. 8 states are going into the elections. Let's have a quick look at at which are the seats which are going into the polls and what were the seats that were held by the respective parties.
बस एक कदम और आखिरी कदम। जी हां, रविवार को चुनाव 2019 का आखिरी चरण है। इस आखिरी चरण में 8 राज्यों की 59 सीटों पर वोट डाले जाएंगे। इनमें सबसे अहम है उत्तर प्रदेश। जी हां, उत्तर प्रदेश, जहां से दिल्ली का रास्ता निकलता है। यहां आखिरी चरण में कुल 13 सीटों पर वोट डाले जाएंगे, जिनमें से एक वाराणसी से खुद प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी उम्मीदवार हैं। पिछली बार यहां की ये सभी 13 सीट बीजेपी के पास थीं। इसके अलावा बिहार की 8, झारखंड की 3, हिमाचल प्रदेश की 4, मध्य प्रदेश की 8, पश्चिम बंगाल की 9 और पंजाब की सभी 13 सीटों के लिए वोट डाले जाएंगे। केंद्र शासित प्रदेश चंडीगढ़ की इकलौती सीट पर भी रविवार को मतदान होगा। ये सीटें एनडीए, खासकर बीजेपी के लिए बेहद अहम हैं। 2014 के चुनाव में इन 59 सीटों में से एनडीए ने 41 सीटें हासिल की थी, जबकि यूपीए के हिस्से में कुल 5 सीटें आई थी। और अन्य ने 13 सीटों पर जीत हासिल की थी।
Staying with election coverage, Punjab is among the 8 states which is going to elections tomorrow. The drug problem that has been there in Punjab has claimed a number of lives, including among the young people. This is a problem that has been looming in the state under both the ruling parties, Congress and the Akali Dal. To have a look at this problem, we have Ravi Kaushal, NewsClick reporter, who has gone to Jainpur village in Shahid Bhagat Singh Nagar, which lost 19 lives in a single year. Let's take a look at this story.
पंजाब के इलेक्शन कवरेज के दौरान हम आ पहुंचे हैं शहीद भगत सिंह नगर ज़िले के जैनपुर गांव में। हम आपको इस गांव में क्यों लाए हैं, इसकी एक ख़ास वजह है। इसकी वजह यह है कि पिछले 1 साल में यहां पे 19 बच्चों ने ड्रग्स के कारण अपनी जान गंवाई है। हमारे साथ इस मुद्दे पर बात करने के लिए हैं कुछ लोग जो बताएंगे कि ये समस्या कितनी विकराल हो गई है और वो क्या सोचते हैं इसके बारे में।
हमारे गांव में नशा बहुत बिकता था, जिससे हमारे गांव में 10-12 बच्चे मौत के घाट में उतर गए। जो कुछ बच्चे तो ऐसे थे जो अपने माता पिता के इकलौते पुत्र थे, उन्होंने भैनों ਨੂੰ ਰੱਖੜੀ ਬੰਨ੍ਹਣ भी कोई वीर नहीं रहा।
ये बताइए कि यहाँ पे नशा कितनी बड़ी समस्या है?
नशा तो बहुत हुआ भरावा, नशे दी नहीं कोई गल हैगी।
नशे की समस्या तो यहाँ है ही बहुत ज़्यादा है, हर गांव में है, यहाँ भी है, हमारे गांव में भी है और जितने भी आले दुआले गांव है सब में है।
ये आज की बात नहीं है, ये हमारे गांव में पूरे 7-8 साल की समस्या है। पिछली साल अकाली सरकार में भी इसी तरह रहा 5 साल, एक सरकार बदल भी गई है, कांग्रेस की सरकार आ गई, हम इसी तरह ड्रग जो बच्चे ला रहे हैं।
Moving on to our international section of the roundup, I'm going to hand this over to Abdul.
Okay, in our international section today, we are discussing US Secretary of State's recent visit to Russia. American Secretary of State Mike Pompeo visited Sochi, Russia and met Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and President Vladimir Putin on May 14. This is a significant meeting considering the publication of Robert Mueller report in April this year, which alleged Russian interference in the American presidential election. This was Pompeo's first visit to Russia since he became Secretary of State. This was also first meeting between the high officials of 2 states in more than a year. Pompeo also stopped at Brussels and met leaders and European leaders and discussed Iran. To discuss this, we have Praveer with us. Praveer, what do you think is the meaning of this particular visit at this particular juncture?
See, there are 2 issues really, I think, which makes this visit important. Whether it has achieved anything or not is not clear. One is that with the Mueller report having more or less absolved Trump of any collusion with Russia and Russian government in his election, which was the charge which the Democrats have been leveling against him. I think the issue is that it is possible for Trump now to take some measures to normalize relations with Russia. As you know, the relations have been strained, sanctions have been imposed, and though Trump did indicate that he wanted to normalize relations with Russia, have better relationship, that has not transpired because he's been isolated with the pressure that he has been colluding with the Russians for his own elections. So I think that hasn't really moved far enough for him to be able to have a quote-unquote reset of the relationship. It's an open question because the pressure of the Democrats on Trump is still great. They have said Mueller report is not complete. There are sections which need to be re-examined. There are redactions. This sort of the drama of the so-called, shall we say, Russia hacking US election still goes on. For all of us who have been studying all this, it seems rather dubious, given the fact that US has hacked nearly every elections in the world, and it's also on record having stated that they basically helped Yeltsin win. So, you know, if all of this is taken into account, the point is that how long can this charade of Russia hacking US election really go on? To believe that the NSA and the CIA with all the positive, shall we say, surveillance capabilities at their disposal could not stop this, would seem to be, shall we say, make a mockery of what their capabilities themselves are. So I think this reset, can it happen? I don't think this has yet happened, or this visit has accelerated that. When Trump meets on the sidelines of G20 Putin, or if he does, then we will have to think whether a reset might be possible.
Okay, thank you for that.
With this, we come to an end of our daily roundup today. Do keep watching NewsClick and do visit our website.